we're gonna talk about creative optimization on natives. Okay, so don't try and implement what I'm going to talk about on Facebook or GDN or those kinds of stuff. I may be going to make some other videos regarding that. I'm making this video because people ask me how I'm making my decisions in terms of like the creative optimization process on natives and how I'm testing creatives and adding new creatives and stuff like that. They ask me like the big questions, and the repeating question is it the same text but different image, like one duplicated ad 6 times, or I'm just changing the images, or I'm just changing the text, so am I just like adding 20 different creatives, or what am I doing? So let's go through the main or popular options people usually upload creatives through. So some will upload something like 20 creatives where there's a mix all between like the texts and combinations and stuff like that between the texts and the images, and some platforms even support descriptions now, so they would A/B test that. And some would just upload 6 creatives with the same text but different image. There are so many variations. Some would just upload 6 creatives with the same image and different text, and some would just like do the same 6 with the opposite basically. And also the platforms don't really help. Even if you have a rep there, they would just tell you that the best practice would be a certain amount of creatives, and you can't really blame them because they really need to simplify the answers they are giving to their advertisers, and they don't really ask you questions. There's no relation between the budget or the geographical location and stuff like that that might be changing everything. So the truth is a bit more complicated. Let's start breaking it down. First of all, it really depends on 2 main things. The first one is, are you running on an automated bid campaign, like for example Tabula's smart bid, or are you running on what's called a fixed bid? And second, where you are in terms of the optimization, how much optimizations you've already made in this campaign. Is it an old campaign where you already know that some publishers are blocked, or is it a new campaign? Okay, so I'm going to stop the video for a second to ask you to make sure you like and subscribe. I'm making these videos over and over. I'm going to ask you each time because it's really important for me to get as many subscribers. Make sure people understand that digital marketing knowledge should be free, so make sure you share it if you like my content. Please, 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 thank you. So let's start digging in. In general, when you are running on an automated bid campaign, like I said, for example, Tabula is smart bid, the system doesn't really rotate the ads equally. So you really need to make sure you don't place a lot of ads there. And if you are using the fixed bid option, you can choose to rotate them and see what gets the most CTR. Okay? So just to overkill this thing, it doesn't matter if you add 10 or 100 creatives, just because of the fact that the system is optimizing according to so many data points, it's not going to give a fair chance to all of the creatives. So unless you actually run on a fixed bid and make sure that you don't optimize automatically but rotate indefinitely, give a fair chance to all the creatives, it doesn't really matter, okay? So the second thing is where you are in the optimization process. And the first and second points are just like the egg and the chicken, because you wanna, on one hand, you wanna test all creatives because you're making such amazing creatives. You wanna make sure that everyone gets the chance. You wanna see everyone really perform and how they perform. But you wanna also make sure that you're getting impressions for each one, you're giving it enough time. And you want to make sure that you're not getting impressions from lame publishers who are underperforming, and you're not really texting the creatives there because it doesn't matter which creative you're going to put there. It's not going to really convert, and you're not really getting the real CTR numbers because of those lame publishers that are giving you a lower average. So theoretically, one creative could have gotten more impressions or click on one specific bad publisher, and that would affect the platform's algorithm in terms of what creative it's going to prioritize, and of course your decision making in the optimization process. So how I suggest you deal with it, and I just want to say this idea would change over time, and there is no right and wrong here. A lot of marketers would have their own opinion regarding that, and this is what's beautiful about it here and what's beautiful about the industry. There isn't just one way of dealing with these issues, and this is why certain marketers are getting certain results and certain marketers are getting different results. So what we're going to do here is create 6 different ads with different texts and different images. Okay, so considering first of all that you're running on a smart bid, which is the automated thing on Taboola, there is the equivalent on Outbrain, of course. And second of all, we're talking about a new campaign. You don't know which creatives are performing good, which creatives are not performing good, and you haven't killed any publisher, you haven't made any bid adjustments or anything like it. We're gonna upload 6 different ads, different texts, different images. Let it run, and considering that you're running on an automated pixel based like Taboola's smart bid, after getting 100,000 impressions on all creatives, and I'm talking about each creative on their own, but you need to make sure that everyone have reached 100,000, you're going to decide what's good and just kill the bottom 3, and that's also important that you also get a benchmark in that specific geo that you are running in terms of what's the average on desktop and mobile. So you'll know how far away you are from this point. So there are 2 averages here. The first one, the one that you're going to ask your rep from, and he could give you probably averages on that specific geo on desktop and mobile. And the second one is the average CTR for that campaign. You want to know what's the average, and you want to make sure that everything below it is something that you kill. Then what we're going to do is slowly start killing publishers that are underperforming, and I have a talk about some manipulations that you can do and get into those creatives and make sure that you're getting higher CTRs and stuff. So make sure you watch that video. But what you're going to do, once you kill those publishers that were underperforming, you're going to add 3 more creatives. So you killed the bottom 3 creatives, you're adding 3 new creatives, and the new creatives that you're going to add would be just variations and combinations of the creatives that are already working. So you can choose the same image or text and then combine it with something else, maybe a different image, a different text. So the initial phase would be just looking into what route you want to go out of those 6. Some creatives might ask a question, some of them might be a bit more clickbaity. You're gonna see what works for this campaign and start duplicating and making adjustments so you'll make any type of progress. A lot of people run A/B tests on creatives and they don't make any progress. This is how you make progress. And then you want to make sure you keep creating the right variations. So later on, when I know I already killed a lot of bad publishers in this campaign, and this is exactly what I was talking about when I said the second thing is where you are in terms of the optimization of the campaign. Remember what I told you was in a case where you are just starting to run this campaign. So in that case, I might open up a fixed bid campaign, add even a couple more creatives, up to 10, and rotate them so I would get the real CTR results. And then I would be able to test them out and basically out of the manipulations that Taboola and other native platforms are making, because the conversion data, the pixel already has some conversion data, and I would be able to just see those certain publishers without any type of bad publishers that are going to ruin my CTR and stuff. So that would allow you to really examine these creatives it's not a lab environment, but it's the closest, probably the closest thing that you can get to. And if some creative win, you can always move it into the smart bid campaign, and you know that this creative already shines. So it's just a matter of like the algo giving it a chance, seeing that it has high CTR and it's converting, and then it would rise above the other creatives. Hopefully this was a good video and you've learned a couple of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.